The UK government has this morning published its negotiating mandate, setting out what Boris Johnson's chief sherpa David Frost will be seeking when talks kick off next week. But what are the key takeaways from that document? Here's 6 of the most important points. No alignment. This should be no surprise to anyone who has been paying attention because it's been pretty consistent since Boris Johnson became PM last July. But for those in doubt, today's mandate makes it clear. There will be no alignment and the European Court of Justice will have no oversight of UK laws. This is the starting point, which is emphasized repeatedly, that the two are coming to the talks on the basis of sovereign equals. No level playing field. The same applies here, with the mandate pointing out in many areas, such as subsidies and competition, that the UK will have control over its own movements. On labour it says there should be reciprocal commitments not to weaken or reduce protections to encourage trade, undercutting, in other words, but pointing to the precedent of the Canada deal, adds that both sides will have control over their own laws. Decision in June. The high-level meeting in June will be a chance for both sides to stocktake. The mandate makes it clear that there will be no extension to transition, so if there is no sign of progress being made such that a deal could be agreed by September, the UK will effectively walk away and start preparing for the UK to trade on WTO terms with all the associated infrastructure and disruption that brings. Fishing is integral. The government has been clear that the UK will become an independent coastal state from December 31st, and that control over the UK's waters will be restored regardless of where the trade talks end. But the government is seeking a Norway-style deal on fishing. The mandate says, the UK will no longer accept the relative stability mechanism for sharing fishing quotas, which is outdated, based on historical fishing activity from the 1970s. This means that future fishing opportunities should be based on the principle of zonal attachment, which better reflects where the fish live, and is the basis for the EU's fisheries agreement with Norway. Stakeholders invited to consult on impact. Although relations between government and business are not at their high point, the UK is opening up the process to consultation as early as next week. The thinking is that there was some disagreement over the models used for previous impact assessments, and disagreement on the outcome, so this might help to find a consensus. Financial services. It's fair to say the city does not take centre stage in the mandate, and is certainly the ugly sister to fishing. But despite the EU's consistent position, the two equivalence deal will be based on unilaterally granted access, which can be withdrawn at a month's no. For more on this story, visit the news article link.